people who are corrupt should be given a tap at the back. No. So don't misunderstand me. And I also want to take it further to even say that in your own case, when you were discussing, you were just busy analyzing the corruption that we all know about. And I'm saying to you today, we have reason to be optimistic that this fight against corruption have started. And the subject we are discussing today is now how citizens can boost that fight. And this is where we come in. And this citizens' participation is key. And not only because citizens may wish to participate, because government also have to empower citizens in order to participate. Because any society that wants to make progress is a society where citizens take ownership. Whether it's for fight against corruption, whether it is social development, whatever it is, citizens actually have to take responsibility for the kind of society they want to see. So I am all for fighting corruption and following the traces of corruption to every point. And as it is being done today, unlike before, cases have been investigated even before they are brought to the court. Unlike this, when you were talking, you said some people sitting at the palaces should be now in detention.
Prisons, yes.
They will be in detention following the due process of law. They will be in detention when the cases of corruption against them has been established. Absolutely. Unlike in the times past when you saw so many people in prisons and in police cells and it was dramatized for 2 weeks or 3 weeks and that was all about it. This time the cases are being followed thoroughly. This time it's being followed systematically so that we're able to trace that monies that got to some persons had even gone to London, come back to Lagos before traveling back to Abuja. That is the way it should be done. So going forward, now how the citizens can boost the courage of those in government. For example, if EFCC may wish to arrest everybody that is corrupt today, how many are those in EFCC? How many is the star strength? What is the star strength of ICPC? That is why it must be citizens being part of the struggle against corruption that will make it work.
How can the citizen be a part of it? He's talked about moral values, the value system.
Yes.
So, but now the question is, how can the citizen be a part of this fight?
Okay, let me explain it to you. At every inch of the way, it is citizens, it is citizens. The man who will expose the man who is corrupt is a citizen. Whether he's a civil servant or he works in China's television, that is a citizen who will say to the security agent, that is a police officer who is also a citizen, saying to him, I'm only giving you the chain or how to break the chain of corruption. He is an ordinary citizen who must report the case of corruption. For example, a junior staff in the Ministry of Finance who have noticed that a director and some level of civil service directors have engaged in corruption. That citizen, as a civil servant, have a responsibility to report the case.
No, you
are now talking about whistleblowing.
Exactly. This is how citizens get involved. I'm giving you the chain of how citizens get involved. The policeman in question too is also a citizen. The judge is also a citizen.
Mr. Jonathan, you have to convince that citizen of his safety after he has blown that whistle.
Okay, that is not in doubt. That is not in doubt. But what the citizen must realize, that number one, that is his primary responsibility. That is what they call expected role performance. That you have to be protected is not in doubt. But the citizen have to first and foremost agree that he, as a citizen, as a civil servant who have to blow the whistle, as a police officer who is first a citizen, who have to arrest the corrupt official, as the judge is first and foremost a citizen, who have to be the one to give the judgment. They are first and foremost citizens.
Okay.
Whether
Jonathan,
you are a civil servant or not, you are first and foremost a citizen. So when citizens understand that it is their primary responsibility,
okay, Jonathan,
they will begin to take it forward from there.
Femi, let me read this out. 2 comments here, then you can weigh on that and let's... Uchenna Stan says, an Igbo proverb says, he who does not know where the rain started to beat him never knows where it will stop. Same for corruption. Victor Ikwekele says, as long as good people, pensioners, are punished by the system, the good among us will lose faith in Nigeria.
It's very true.
The citizens he's talked about, the citizen taking responsibility, blowing the whistle, being assured of safety, getting a sense of moral values. How would all of this tie in, as we begin to wind now, how would all of this tie in to ending this?
I go back to what I was saying before about legal protections. And so if there's no legislation, you might have a whistleblower now, but he hasn't got legal protection. If the laws aren't there to protect him, then it's an absolute waste of time. If the legislation...
So does it mean he should watch things go south because there are no laws to protect him?
Not at all. It's like the gentleman said, that when someone has stolen money, and he comes out, he's heralded. Yeah, people go on marching and placards and whatever. Where are the people marching and placarding for the whistleblower protection scheme to be in place? You know, so people need to be protesting for the right things. Where the legislators are not making laws. Look, we need to make this law. They need to present certain laws. We know this particular official. He's been a civil servant all his life. He's now a multi-billionaire. How on earth did that happen? Is it actually a possibility? You know, you're a president or a state governor with a, you know, earning of 1-point-something million per month or whatever it is, and you come out and you are a multi-billionaire, hundreds of billions. You know, how is that actually possible? Who is investigating that? If you have private enterprises happening whilst you're a civil servant, such that your private enterprise is in excess of your civil servant work, then what? How is that? That means you're paying more attention to your private work than you were to your, you know, your
public service.
Yeah. So in
fact, there's a law against that.
and there's a law against that. And who's following that up? So people know these people. This is not something that's hidden. And as the gentleman said, citizens need to go out there and petition, but the law needs to be there to protect them. And the media has a great job in this thing, in exposing these people and asking that question. Excuse me, sir, you know, when you have these guys on your programs, ask them. They may be coming for a particular program and then say, oh, but by the way, we understand that you have blah, blah, blah. Can you explain that? Let people investigate that and that become the issue. That how is it that you've got this? Can you explain that? And when they've been found wanting, then they can be prosecuted.
You know, for me, the average Nigerian citizen is not ready. And when I mean ready in capital underlined. When we are ready, we'll begin to point fingers at the people who have stolen our commonwealth and then are throwing it in our faces. When we are ready, there's an advert on a radio station that says, "I'm no be spiritual." We know, you and I know people who have stolen our commonwealth. They have no investment anywhere, no factory, nothing. They only register companies for the purpose of moving funds, okay? And they live large. When they throw parties, they close the entire community down. Yet, instead of you and I protesting, we go there and pick the bottles and pick the crumbs. So until the people can arise and realize that they have been shortchanged, okay, and then begin to redeem their own value system, i.e. being the change that they want, they can now confront the cancer of corruption headlong. Because it's a very bad case. It has gone pandemic. It's everywhere.
So you're calling for a revolution then?
That should be the way out for us. That was why I said legislation has to be, they must make corruption a capital crime. In China, when you steal money, you are charged with the stake and you are shot. We want to get, if you don't get to that level, if you continue.
It hasn't stopped them stealing in
It
China.
has not, but it has reduced.
It's honest wealth.
Bless you.
When people make
It has
money
reduced.
through means that are not known to us, through means that are not genuine, we should stop respecting such
Exactly.
persons.
Absolutely, I
When
agree
a
with
man was
you.
coming from jail and they gave you Ankara of 2,000 naira.
And
Now
you
you
went
went
to
and
go
saw
and
it on
celebrate
credit
him.
and you just go and dance to welcome the criminal.
And they
What
give-
nonsense is that?
That
On
is why.
Facebook and all the social media, people will go and buy data on credit and be supporting
Doing-
these people. It's annoying.
And that is
So
because
the people too
citizens
must
have not
rise.
made the connection or how corruption
Exactly.
affects their everyday
They're not-
life.
they don't
If
know.
100 million youths are unemployed, they should know why. How $2.1 billion would have added, how many jobs it would have added. So
There's
citizens
another 1.6
really need to
trillion.
wake
There's
up, they
another
need to
1.6
educate themselves.
trillion. Today's paper showed us another 1.6
There
trillion.
are so many corruptions that have
You
not
know-
been
you know, I
proven
told
in the
you.
oil and gas and everything. That is why also, let me
The
add
leaking
this,
points.
that
Okay,
government...
you know what?
We need to close
Okay,
now.
but let me add this.
leaking points are so many.
Government need to deliberately empower citizens, civil society organizations, institutions and individuals
And the
that are
media.
involved in exposing corruption and supporting government agencies to fight corruption. These organizations should be directly and deliberately invested in, and so that people can have the courage and more confidence to join government in the fight
Okay.
against corruption.
Now we need to close.
Closing statements.
So we want your parting shots.
Okay.
Let us start with Mr. Okay.
Okay, I think that apart from just encouraging them that way, they can even give financial incentives to them, because sometimes there's an armed robbery case and they're looking for people to find who did it and give information. So if you've given information that leads to the prosecution of someone on corruption in billions or whatever, there can be also financial incentives for people to give that information to help them fight that corruption. I think that could be a positive.
Mr. Rio.
The people at the bottom of the ladder who are the victims of all of this, they should challenge themselves and say no more. And begin to point accusing fingers at the people who are dealing with them.
All right.
Instead of
Jonathan.
eating crumbs from their table.
Government should fund citizen activism so that the people are empowered to join government in fighting corruption.
Thank you very much, Mr. Greatimo Jonathan, Director Mobilization, Be the Change. Mr. Femi Oke, Development Consultant and Nigerian Diaspora.
Be the
Thank you for
change
coming.
organization. So that's
And Olade Ndiabio, Social Committee.
That's good, yeah.
Thank you for coming. Sunrise will be back in a moment. Don't go away.